Welcome back to the Walang Hiya Podcast.
If this is your first time tuning in, I'm Jillian and I'm 12 years old.
And I'm Annika and I'm Julian's mom.
And our podcast is about really building a safe space for us to talk to each other and for you guys to learn more about your problems and feel more open to talking about them, and really to encourage more Filipino families to talk about deep and hard to talk about topics.
Absolutely. And for this episode, and before we talk about the topic today, I just want to give this message because this is our first video episode, tama ba?
Yes.
Yeah. And how do you feel about it?
I feel excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah? Why?
Because, we dressed up for the day.
Right.
And nakapolo pa ako, naka-ganyan pa ako. So, yeah, we dressed up for the occasion. And, it's a really exciting development in our podcast.
Absolutely. Okay. And that being said, let's get to it. And what is our topic for today?
Our topic is going to be about being alone versus feeling lonely.
Ooh, okay, great. I'm sure this is a very, very timely topic because I think like ever since the pandemic or ever since the COVID-19, naging mataas yung rate ng feeling of lonely and isolation. I think the better term for that would be isolation. So I think it's important for us to identify and differentiate the difference between feeling alone and being lonely, and the things that we can do whenever we experience that. What do you think about the topic? Why did we choose this topic?
For me, I feel like the topic itself is really important. As you said, like a lot of people are dealing with feeling isolated recently, and I feel like a lot of us could use someone or some set of people, some group of people to talk to be able to be open to about, and that's kind of what this podcast is about.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is exactly why we have this podcast. So I have prepared some questions around this topic, and let's start off by me asking you this question. And in your opinion, like, what do you think is the difference between being alone versus feeling lonely?
Okay. So yeah, in my opinion, I feel like the difference between being alone and feeling lonely is na you can feel lonely while there are a lot of people around you, while you have like a lot of friends, a lot of family members that you could potentially talk to. But I feel like the difference between being alone and feeling lonely is that being alone means that you don't have, you have minimum to zero people that you are open to, that you feel safe to talk to, that you're really close to. And feeling lonely is more of like having people there, but the thing is they're not the people that you want to express yourself to, that they're not the people that you want to talk to about a topic, or that you're not open to talking to them about it.
So basically that what I'm hearing is that you feel lonely even if there are people around you, if they're not your people, not the people that you are open to or you're comfortable with, right? And it can be you can feel lonely even just by yourself, right? It's either you're by yourself or even with other people around you. Sometimes it still feels lonely, right? And I definitely agree with that. And I feel like, just to add to what you said, I think that we do feel lonely when we cannot relate to other people, and we feel lonely when we feel like there's no one for us in this world,
Like who understands
who
you?
understands you. Yes, I think that's a very good point. Like nobody can understand you, or like there's kasi diba, like when you feel alone, that means that yeah, you're just doing things by yourself, but you can be happy, you can be satisfied
Absolutely.
yeah, doing those things by yourself. So that doesn't equate, or that is not equivalent to being lonely, right? But being lonely, regardless if you have no one or you have a lot of people around you, you can still feel like something is missing, right? Yeah, and that goes to my. I hope you don't mind me asking the next question
Sure.
as well. And that goes to this question of why can someone feel lonely even when they're like surrounded by people?
Yeah, so I think that the answer that we just gave for the last question is also kind of related to that. Na someone can feel lonely if yun nga, if like there's no one who really understands them, who really understands what they're going through, their problems, or someone who isn't open to talking to them, to like having a heart to heart with them, to expressing their feelings to them, expressing their feelings with them. And so yun, even if they are surrounded by people, I feel like a lot of people do feel lonely because of that fact that they feel that they are not understood by others.
Right. So let me ask you this follow-up question. No?
Sige.
So when was the last time that you felt lonely? I mean, if you can't think of any, like you've never felt lonely, that's totally fine. I just want to know, like, if you have experienced that.
There's not really like a specific scenario that comes to mind when I think of like if I've ever felt lonely. I'm sure there has been a time that has happened, but it hasn't really been like for me as a person. It doesn't really it hasn't really affected me that much that I can, like, if you ask me that question, I can just go that, like,
Right.
it's just like I'm sure there's a time where I have felt lonely, but it's not really that big of a part of my life, to be honest. But like I get it that it's still a big part of other people's lives, and I'm open to talk about it, right? Like that's why I'm here. But like me personally, I don't think that there is a time in my life that I felt so lonely that it has affected me up to this point.
Okay, that makes sense. Interesting.
So yeah, can I ask a question now?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so ito yung question ko for you. Can being alone ever be a good thing? And like, kung pwede nga, when does that become like unhealthy?
This is a good question because I used to be very outgoing. Like I was very an extrovert before, especially when I was a bit younger. I like going out. I like helping. Whenever like there's a friend who asks me to, hey, let's hang out, blah blah blah. I'm always like, yes. Only if I don't have work, of course. So yeah, I was very outgoing back then, but now I am more into an introvert now, and I don't really like socializing a lot. And for me, because I've found peace being by myself. So that's why you will see me, or people will see me just being alone most of the time, because I enjoy it. I enjoy not thinking about other people, not waiting on other people. I enjoy minding my own business. So I think that that's a good thing for me because I don't feel incomplete. I know for a lot of people, they cannot even go out and eat out by themselves. They have to be like, texting their friends, say, hey, come, let's hang out, right? Or they cannot watch a movie by themselves.
Mm-mm.
I can easily do those things because I find joy in eating out, like having my me time, or like, just taking care of myself, right? It becomes unhealthy if you do it your entire life. I mean, like, if you don't.
Yeah, if you don't even have like a bit of socialization.
Correct. Yeah. When there is an opportunity for you to socialize and you choose not to all the time, because us as human beings, we are wired to be social. Like we like socializing, and we like, I mean, we are wired to making connections with other people. And yeah, that becomes unhealthy if you choose not to every single time.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I could say I do agree. But like, yeah, no, I do agree on that it can become unhealthy when like you don't like ever want to socialize. Like,
Right.
I can understand that you can want to be alone from time to time, but if there's an opportunity that you can socialize, like, you should accept it from time to time, like, when you feel up to it. But if you don't feel like up to ever socializing, that I feel like that's the point where it can become unhealthy to be alone. So yeah,
Right.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, meron din ako isa pang question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So my next question is, what can someone do when they start feeling lonely? Like what? Like kunyari ako, I'm starting to feel lonely. Like parang, oh, wala na akong pwedeng kausapin tungkol sa problems ko. What could I do in that situation?
There are a lot of things that you can do. There are so many things that you can do. But for me, what I find most effective right now, number one is move. Definitely. I'm a very busy person, but I always find time. I always prioritize dancing or moving because that's how you release trapped emotions. So if, let's say, I don't have someone to talk to every single day, by moving, by dancing, that's how I release energy, trapped energy inside me. Another thing is just if you don't feel like dancing, like for a lot of people, they don't like, moving a lot. Just go out of your house, change your surroundings, change your environment, and that really helps a lot. I don't know, you don't need to like go out of town or like go to the beach. No, just step out of your house, go to a park, right, where there's like trees, but a different environment from the four corners of your room. That would absolutely that's a game changer, I believe. So two of the many things that you can do for me. How about you?
Yeah, I could agree on you with that, but unlike you, I'm not really a big fan of like moving, like if someone were to ask me this, like I feel like maging unang dalawa kong sagot is yun nga, going out of your house, like experiencing the outside world, like not just staying trapped in your house. And like, this is just for me, okay, but like, I recommend this to other people. Go outside of your house and read the Bible. Like try to grow a relationship with God. And pray, so yeah, yun, like I feel like in times when people like feel lonely, the one person that will never leave you is God. And to the viewers that like don't believe that in Christianity and like have different beliefs or other stuff, like okay, you do you, but ang masasabi ko lang na recommendation is yun nga, to read the Bible. And um, I actually did prepare like 2 Bible verses for this podcast, if that's okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can share it. Okay. So the first Bible verse that I prepared is Hebrews 13, verse 5. God has said, "Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you." So, yun nga, unlike other people in life who will meet you and then leave you eventually, whether that's through a negative experience or just, you know, like from like moving locations, from God forbid death,
Mhm.
right? All people will eventually leave you, right? And sure, some will stick around for a long time, but the person who will be with you forever is God.
Right.
And the other one that I have prepared is my favorite Bible verse, actually.
Okay.
John 14, verse 8. If God is all you have all you need. So, yeah, that's a really powerful verse where
It is.
it states that even if you don't have anything, as long as you have God, you will have all you need. And when I woke up today, I did read my Bible. I was reading about Job and how he lost all of his all of his kids, all of his camels, all of his servants, his house, and ganon. And then all he had there was his life and God. And Job did remain faithful for all that time, but there was, kasi like all of that stuff that happens to like a person, like if you know the story of Job, all of that stuff that happens to a person can put you in the wrong mindset.
Right.
So yun nga, I think that it's perfect kasi if you are like in the wrong mindset about being alone, being like in a poor situation, if you go to God with your problems, I feel like he can wash your problems away and take you in.
Yeah, I like the story of Job for multiple reasons, and it's absolutely, it's totally is related to the topic that we're talking about now, which is like when you're experiencing hardships in life, it's kind of normal, or it's natural for you to feel down and also to lose hope. And when you lose hope, you become lonely, right? But instead, what he did is like, instead of feeling like staying below, he held on to his faith to God.
Yeah.
And that helping, or I mean, that holding on to his faith helped him surpass all the challenges, which is really amazing, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. And I do have one last question for you. And now my question is it important for you, in your opinion, is it important to learn how to be comfortable being alone, and why?
I feel like yes, that it is important to learn how to be comfortable with being alone. Kasi eventually, in a point of your life, hopefully, like in the far future, like when you're like retired, when you're old, eventually like your kids will move out, they will have their own families to worry about, and sure, they will visit you from time to time, but for most of the time you will feel alone. And it's the sad truth about life. There will be a part of life that you will be alone, you don't have a control over it. So I feel like if you want to prepare yourself for that, I feel like it is good to try to feel more comfortable without having like any social like interaction. But yun nga, as we did discuss a while ago, it will eventually become unhealthy nga. But eventually, yun nga, in a point of your life, you will have no choice. So
Right.
you, like kasi me personally, I'm okay with being alone. like I'm comfortable with being alone. But so nga, parang nagbaliktad yung story natin eh. Kasi kung ikaw naging from extrovert to more of an introvert, for me, from an introvert to more of an extrovert, because I feel recently I feel more confident, more comfortable with putting myself out there, putting myself in social places, social environments. But I still do feel that I am comfortable with being lonely, being alone. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, let me end that, or let me just add to that, because I honestly believe that everything is temporary. Everything that we have, whether it be material things, they're temporary. People that we have, friends, they're temporary. And yeah, you have to enjoy, you have to be present while they're still there, right? But at the same time, you have to learn the art of detachment. You cannot be attached to anything, whether it's material things or people, boyfriend, loved ones. You should learn how to I know it's hard, even myself. It's hard for me to always detach, because we human beings, were emotional. We like connecting to other human beings emotionally, and that leads us to being attached to that person. But at the same time, you have to always look at things in a different perspective to detach yourself. Like whatever happens, you always have to remember this, like whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. If this person leaves me, I'm going to be okay. If you get married soon, I'm going to be okay. Like, yeah, I agree with everything that you said, to be comfortable being alone, to practice being alone, and not to always be surrounded by other people or by other things. Because at the end of the day, like, again, you have to detach yourself. You're the only one you've got at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. And to add on to what you said before we end, like going back to religion, eventually, like it's stated in the Bible that Jesus will come back, right? And if we meet him personally, like when he comes back to earth, he will take us, or not, if ever, right? He will, basta, like, no matter what, we will eventually meet Jesus. If we die before he comes to the earth again, or if we are present when he comes back, we will meet him, and he will take us away from this earth, this world. No matter where you end up next, you will not have anything from here. None of these clothes, phones, money, nothing. You will have nothing when you die. Right? Whether you're in hell or in heaven. Of course, in heaven you'll have like God. You'll have things better than here, but you will not have anything that you grew attached to here, right? The plants, di kita nila yung plants, pero there's plants here. The books, the magnets, the phones, the clothes, the money, you won't have that no matter where you end up, because like it will eventually, like at the point of your death, even if you don't believe in what I'm talking about here, if you're like atheist, let's say, when you die and you believe that you will rot in the ground, and let's say if ever that is true, and we will all rot in the ground, we won't use these clothes, we won't use our money, we will not be able to use any of that ever. So while yes, it's good to be attached to things, the art of detachment. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, eventually we will lose these things. That's what I'm trying to say here. And so yeah, we will lose these things. So while it's good to have connections, we also need to learn to detach ourselves from these things, from material things.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I absolutely agree. So any last words to all of the listeners here?
I mean, like, not much, but like, if I had to give last words, I would say, seek help from whoever, from someone you trust, from maybe a therapist, maybe a family member, maybe a friend, maybe the God in your religion. Based from today, you know who I'm going to. So yun, like, if I'm going to say something to our viewers, it's to seek help from someone you trust when you feel lonely.
I like that. Yeah, so it can be a therapist, a professional, it could be a friend, whoever, right? And there's always someone out there, and we are here as well. So if
Yeah.
you feel like you're kind of lost or you don't know what to do, just listen to our voice. I hope nakatulong yung voice namin. Nakatulong siya kahit paano. All right. So with that said, we're going to end this episode, and we hope to
See you guys in the next one.
perfect. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.